My name is Bill Castrogiovanni, and I worked on Asylum's Jurassic Reborn.
Awesome. I saw Jurassic Reborn last night. It's so amazing. The thrills start right off the bat. We get thrown into this very quickly. Um, when did you make the decision to start everything so fast? Because we get just thrown into it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think Asylum likes to keep things moving. People are coming to these projects because they want to see the
Mm.
action. There's not much focus, in these films on, relationship, character development. It's all about the dinosaurs. And so let's get to it as soon as possible. And our director, Marcel Waltz, is really, his passion, he comes from the horror genre. And so his passion is about building the suspense and to keep things, tense and moving. And so, yeah, that's why we wanted to hit the ground running, as it were.
For you, what was it about this project that caught your attention?
Oh gosh, so I've long billed myself as the go-to geek for cult sci-fi and indie comedy, and the reason for that is because I grew up watching kind of cult cinema films. Like some of my favorite films are Evil Dead 2 and The Reanimator, and so to get an opportunity to work on a project like this. It was a dream come true. First of all, Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park was a big influence on my early life, and so to be able to like do our sort of punk rock version of the dinosaur genre was just a fantastic opportunity. I couldn't not participate in this project.
And what was it like being a part of this? It seems like it's so much fun because there is so much going on. You have these dinosaurs that are menacing throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, well, one of the things that was most exciting about this project was the camaraderie that we had as a team to get it over the finish line. This was a very, very challenging shoot. It's a low budget production, right? So we don't have a lot of time to like to do multiple takes or multiple setups, and everything had to keep moving. And I think what was most exciting for me was watching how our team pulled together because it can go one of two ways. Either it's going to be a total disaster and everyone's going to go their own separate ways and it's just going to just completely fail, or everyone will pull together, want to make the same movie. And I think that's what we saw in this experience. I had the privilege a couple weeks ago to go to the theatrical premiere of the film, and there was a Q&A afterwards, and we went down the line with cast and crew, and everybody said the same thing, how much they enjoyed making this film. And for me personally, I think that the fun we had making it is sort of contagious. I hope you as a viewer, when you're watching it, were like, these people look like they're having a lot of fun making this movie.
Definitely, it's there's no boring moment in this movie, so you can definitely tell that this is a passion project. This is something you all were very passionate about making. Even when with indie films, what kind of obstacles did you have in getting this produced and making sure that you put out the best project possible on screen?
Sure. Well, like I said, it's the deadline that we were up against that became the biggest challenge. One of the stories that I'd like to share is that we had an issue, when you have these tight deadlines, you have to problem solve and be agile on your feet. So it required all the actors to be prepared to know their lines,
Hmm.
to have the DP get in there and light the shots quickly, but also be prepared to pivot if some logistical thing falls through. Like for example, we lost one of our key locations, um, uh, and had to basically rewrite the end of the movie on the
Hmm.
fly. And it was fantastic to see Danielle Titus, who's the lead,
Hmm.
sort of take charge of like how does this loss of location change, change how our characters would react to the situation. Um, and so she sort of spearheaded it, and she and I sort of spitballed what our characters could do, and then we
Hmm.
we pitched it to Marcel, who also brought in James, the AD, and basically the entire team came together to just problem solve. How do we change the dialogue? How do we change the scenes to make the pieces fit now that we've lost this location? And hopefully, as the audience, you wouldn't have said, oh, was there a location missing? Because I think we kind of were able to, you know, change it on the fly to make the story still
Mhm.
coherent.
Yeah, you can't tell that that there was a change. It seemed to flow very nicely. I guess with challenges like that, how satisfied are you when you get this ending product that is as high quality as this film is?
But thank you for saying that. Yeah, it was incredibly satisfying to me. I do as an actor try to divorce myself from, what we get at the end versus the experience that I have, right?
Mhm,
And I'm happy to say here that what we got at the end was great, and it's I think a very fun film that
mhm,
audiences will love. For me as an actor, I try to put my energy and the emphasis on what's in the moment,
mhm,
so that by the time the movie comes out, the reward for me was having made it more
mhm,
than seeing it. It's awesome that in a case like this, the film was really a lot of fun, and I like to say the best damn dinosaur movie ever made in 6 days.
mhm,
And so it was remarkable to kind of watch the whole team come together for the premiere, and
mhm,
the audience was very really energized coming out of it that we were actually able to pull this off and get a really fun movie that I think audiences will enjoy.
mhm. For you, well, what kind of preparation did you do in order to take on this?
I'm very lucky because my character of Dr. Jerry Wilson is kind of close to who I am in real
Okay.
life. I'm a geek. I'm a bit I like to, when I'm preparing for a role, I like to find the similarities and differences between who I am and who the character is. And so there was a lot of overlap here. I can be very socially awkward at times. I also tend to get very detail oriented, and I'll sometimes
Mhm,
miss the forest through the trees because I'm looking at all these little things. And I think Jerry is very much the same way.
mhm.
And so I just leaned into those elements of my personality and tried to bring that through in the character.
So, having had to pivot for the ending, does that throw you off as an actor, or does that give you a fun challenge to get through?
No, in fact, if anything, I actually think the film was better for it. For one thing, it allowed us it allowed us to build more relationship between the characters.
Mhm,
Um, and it also helped reinforce our understanding of who the characters are. Because we now had to sort of spitball ideas for how these characters would react now that we're in this location instead of this location. And yeah, it really it actually became more rewarding for me. In fact, it was one of my favorite memories of the project was getting
mhm,
to like to really to have that fear of, oh, are we going to be able to are we how are we going to be able to do this, to we did it and it really works.
mhm. Um, you said this was a 6-day shoot. How do you begin to build that camaraderie and that team with such a sh fast shoot?
That's a really good question, and we were really lucky with our director Marcel, who, first of all, just a really great guy and a very sharp director, but also super collaborative. He set the tone from the first day, that this was going to be a team effort, and he was open to ideas and suggestions, and we were going to work together to have this adventure. And one of the things that he did that really, really helped a lot was he was able to push our initial shoot date back one day so that we could have a table read as with the entire, cast and
Mhm.
crew, and just answer any questions and start building our relationships right there. And that made all of the difference.
That's incredible. Having, such a collaborator in your director, how does that help you uh, as an actor? Does it give you more freedom to kind of ask for your character to be adapted more to who you are personally, or you know, what does that bring for you?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, it builds this great trust between the actor and the director, right? So that, a lot of times as actors, you can get in your own head about,
Mhm,
did I deliver this line correctly? Did I hit that moment? Was I present? Um, and when you've got that trust with the director, you'll know he or she will guide you to where you need to be. Like you know that if if what you're doing isn't working, that they'll
Hmm.
nudge you in the right direction. Even with the short, turnaround time that we had. And also it makes it easier and more fun to be able to pitch ideas to the director
Hmm.
when you know that he or she will be receptive to it. And yeah, I again, I just had the time of my life making this project.
Since you have seen this with an audience, especially at the premiere, what was it like sitting there with the audience and having, in their reactions? What were you expecting, and did you get everything you wanted?
I absolutely did. Of course, when you come to a premiere, everybody's there
Hmm.
primed because they want to see this and they want to see this movie succeed. So it's a very receptive audience, right?
Hmm.
And I think we delivered on that. They laughed in all the right spots, they jumped in all the right spots, and it was just it was, and as an audience member
Hmm.
myself, right? Because there is I got to see scenes that I wasn't a part of, right?
Hmm.
Because our characters, we split and the stories
Hmm.
kind of forked for a little while, and so I got to see all the work that my colleagues got to do, and that was very rewarding to see that as well.
Definitely. Is there any projects that you're working on now that you can talk about?
Yeah, sure. The next one that I've got in the hopper is it's actually, if you're a fan of sci-fi,
Hmm.
you might appreciate this. It's a parody of John Carpenter's The Thing. Um, but this sort of parody,
Hmm.
short film parody, takes place in a different Antarctic base. But this base is filled with therapists, and when the alien invades, they have to use their therapy schools to try to figure out which one of them is the invader.
That sounds awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. You did a fantastic job. This movie is entertaining to watch. It is, fast paced, very intense right from the bat. So, congratulations on this, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Jesus. I really appreciate your time speaking with me.